Hi ladies, I just want to jump on here really quick and share a story with you of one of my success and my clients that may inspire you as well. My client Georgia came to me to help her kind of get back out there and dating and meeting men. A little bit of history, she's been married for over 30 years and recently widowed, and so this whole dating scene was a little unnerving, a little uncomfortable for her. And so we're working on confidence and how to meet men and how easy it can be. And so her success is she was just recently out at a Home Hardware looking for some items, picking some things up, and she kind of talked to one of the gentlemen that was working there and helping her, and kind of got into some bantering and really enjoyed it and kind of enjoyed that moment. And so then that parted, she finished the rest of her shopping up and was coming to the cash register to pay, and he actually moved the cashier server there out of the way so he could ring in the rest of her items. And so the bantering continued, she's having a great moment, enjoying it, and then it was done and she was on her way out, and she thought, shoot, Nicole's told me to be a little more bold, be a little courageous and step out of my comfort zone. So she turned back to him and asked him this most brilliant question. She said, may I take the liberty to ask you a question? And he paused and he waited for a moment and he's, yes, sure. And she said, are you in a relationship or seeing someone? And he smiled and he said, no. And so she handed him what we had created was a business card that had her name and an email address. And she handed it to him and said, well, if you're interested in going for a coffee, here's my number or my email address. And so she smiled and kind of just walked out the door. Well, a few hours later, she gets an email from him and invites her for coffee, and they've been on a handful of dates. And so what I want to share with you is that it's great to be able to take that risk, to be able to take that leap. And when you're not attached to the outcome, it's that much more easier. So had she been worried about if he was seeing someone or in a relationship, she may not have. But because she knew that it would just be a compliment if he was, and that it wasn't personal, it allowed her to do that and allowed an opportunity to show up. So I was sharing Georgia's story with another client who as well is in her mid-60s and putting herself out there. And so Katie was up hiking the gondola, hiking the Grouse Grind, and was coming down on the gondola, one of the ways down, and made eye contact with this really good-looking gentleman. And didn't think too much of it. It was kind of like, oh, he's cute. But she's thinking, this is not the day I really want to meet somebody. My hair is all messed. My makeup is melted under my eyes. It's kind of feeling funny. And so she just kind of looked at him. He looked at her, and then he kind of just looked away. And she thought, shoot, I really want to do something here. What do I do? And so she actually took the courage and stepped over and started a conversation with him. And she said, how did you enjoy your hike? What did you think of it? And he kind of looked up, kind of startled and surprised, and was like, I really had a good time. And so they were talking back and forth about their hiking and what they had done all the way down to the bottom. And as they were approaching the end, she said, well, if you're interested in going for a hike, let me know. I would definitely be open to it. So they exchanged phone numbers. 3 days later, he ended up texting her and they jumped on the phone call, and now they've been on dates after that, a handful of dates. And so the idea, ladies, is that we can be courageous. We can approach these men because a lot of times they're just as shy as we are and they're feeling uncomfortable. The reason we tend to not do this is because we're afraid of the outcome, what he might say. If he's in a relationship, we might sound stupid, we might look silly. And so when we let that go and not use that fear, we actually create opportunities. And so that's the best way to do it, is to take that risk and to be able to do it. And so even if that gentleman was seeing somebody or in a relationship, just the fact that we brought it up creates this idea for a compliment. And so it gives him that space. So something to think about, ladies. Just wanted to share that with you, and let me know how it's going. Would love to know what you're doing and helping you to get out there and meet great men.